This next session that we have is a technical session on inspirations for the value chain of your sheet metal production. We are hosting Mr. Steffen Domay, Business Development Manager for FIBRO India. Let's welcome him, please.
So, hello and welcome everybody to the International Tooling Summit 2023 here in wonderful Bangalore. Today I would like to invite you to an inspiring journey how with sheet metal related standard parts or sheet metal stamping related standard parts knowledge we can improve the efficiency of your press shop or of your die shop. But first of all, let me introduce myself shortly and the company I'm serving now more than 15 years. So I started my career at a business unit in the Leppler Group at a training and qualification center in Germany, in the south of Germany. There I was able to enjoy an apprenticeship as a die maker, as a technical draftsman, and when I was coming back from school with my mechanical engineering degree, I started at the business unit Standard Parts, which is also a part of the Leppler Group. The Leppler Group mostly served the value chain of automotive car body production. We see here on that slide that all our business units have some synergies, and mostly they're focusing from the standard part side to the press tool, to the tool shop, and to the press shop of our own daughter company, Leppler Automotive. So we have suppliers and we have customers in our group, and therefore, we have some, let's say, positive pressure for developing and solving the problems which will come into the press shop of our own company. So, let's start. Let's start. And the next minutes we will focusing on these 3 steps. We will focus on design and development, die shop, and press shop. We will take a look how the development in our group, combined with the standard parts division, can support the die shop, the tool and die shop, furthermore the press shop, and then support to get your return on invest on maximum strokes per minute and maximum production running time. At the beginning, I told something about efficiency. So what is efficiency? Efficiency is the effort, the ratio between an effort you put something in, so the costs, to the outcome. And with this value, we measure how economic a situation is. On this slide, we see at which process step we have the most influenceability in regards of the costs. And it is, as it always was, during design and development phase. With the arrows going from the bottom to the top, I symbolized the length of the arrow is the influenceability of the cost. So you see in the press shop, where actually you have to return your invest from all the steps before, you have very small influenceability of the costs. Everything has to run, everything has to go as it was planned before, otherwise you're losing money. Later on, I will show you some small little helpers, some hidden champions in regards how you can improve zero defect production in your press shop. But first things first, now I would like to show you from the beginning how with simulation or method, state-of-the-art issues, you can influence your value stream, your production. I have a big example where I would like to tell you a personal story and afterwards something about reducing material. So I went to China for the company in 2018. And during that time, we had several challenges also due to COVID virus. In the middle of 2020, I was coming back from China, and I was exhausted. Everything was very unplannable. Supply chain was an absolutely catastrophe and everything. And then I read in the news something about giga dies. And I read that now there is a technology on the market where before you have to press or produce around 70 single parts, and now with one stroke you have this part, talking about aluminum die casting. So what does this mean for standard part business? What does this mean for our customers, for die shops and everything? So we see here a very, very disruptive technology. So we have to take care about it. And I called my friend working at Leppel Automotive, Dr. Martin Heckmann, and told him the story about how do you see this. It's a very good friend, sparring partner also in standard parts development for me. So after some small chat, after some small talk, he introduced something to me where we also reduced the amount of dies in the process of creating a sheet metal part. And I was telling him, Martin, my good friend, please don't develop technology where you reduce the amount of dies, because then we will make less business with standard parts. And bottom line is, now we know how we can participate, how we can support each other in regards of concepts where you reduce the amount of dies in a disruptive way. We see here a development project where we were able to reduce, especially for spare part business, so when your press shop is not under full production, so you just need some spare parts. Here we have a solution. Just use one die, one single stroke. The setup time in your presses are very small compared to that. You can use smaller presses. And compared to the casting technology, you can use it with your existing technology. You don't have to invest. So you can direct implement that in your value stream. So should I speak louder? Pardon for that. Thank you for the feedback from the audience. Talking about reduction. We see here an example, also considerable in design and development, about reduction. We see here a product called cam unit. A cam unit is one of the most essential standard parts you need in your dies. The cam unit will move the downwards movement from your press into a lateral movement that you are able to punch, for example, holes in already bended shapes of your sheet metal part. I would likely call it personally, this is the king of standard parts, which means it's also the biggest standard parts, which consume the most space. So when we come to progressive dies, or also in big line dies, when we have space issues, a cam unit is not always a cam unit. There are cam units on the market. Here in this case, with our Leppler Group internal Center of Excellence cam unit department, we were able to reduce the total volume of the cam unit from 100 to 30%. What does that mean? You have 30% more space in your die, and you can use this 30% more space for other operations, for distance plates, for your guiding elements, or when it comes to smaller progressive dies, also for other operations. Reduction in case of volume, but not in case of force and mandatory retaining force afterwards you punch a hole. So we are still capable to fulfill with this design all the needs. We see it in the diagram in the middle. The orange line, this is the FIBRO version. When it comes to volume, here we have the width and the possible working force. And the other ones are some server benchmarks. So, I don't have a timer here, and I also forgot to make my own timer, but just keep on moving. Let's come to the second chapter. We go to the die shop. One of the most critical issues in regards of die shops, also according to my personal experience, is when it comes to tryout cycles. For sure you have your project plan, for sure you work with some puffers that you are able to finish all the dies, but the tryout cycles are the most critical point. So let's take a look at all the process steps we need to fulfill before the tryout cycle, like sourcing, logistics, and for sure also a main issue when it comes to die making is cost pressure. Here we have an example from Germany where we developed together with a Bavarian global OEM a commissioning service. So we had there some workshops, and then the question was how we can help you to improve your inner incoming goods, quality, checking your marking and everything. And we developed a service, therefore, for all of your inspiration, that we were able to fulfill all the different active parts, all the standard parts, in combination with customer-specific parts, so all the parts where normally we need CAD data, some, let's say, the cutting knives or some other bending steels. We were able to fulfill here in a partnership way that the customer getting his logistic box, his individual logistic box, already with sorted parts. We already have marked them. We do quality control for him, and the logistic box just go into the die shop. No part is missing, and the die shop it goes directly to the workbench, and the people can immediately start to assemble the die. So before, when there was a problem, the customer have to call 6 different phone numbers, and now only call 1 phone number, and this person is responsible for everything. Let's take a look at the second part. When it comes to standard part, welcome to the world of standard parts, where we have for every individual customer their own standard. To fulfill all this need on a global way, we have to track 40,000 different article codes. So this is, when it comes to an individual customer, standard parts, it's for sure deducted. And during COVID, I make an analysis that at the average side panel die, we have around 400 different article codes. In our product range, doesn't matter which standard you have, there is a high chance that with our bright product portfolio, we can handle it. When it comes to supply chain, when it comes to global supply chain, what's also important for you as a die maker when it comes to starting in the right time to your tryout cycles, that you have the same support that you have where you're based in your local area, for example in India. You need a partner which is also in the countries where you supply your dies. This is also very important in perspective of your die making when it comes to tracking the project, solving the problem when the problem comes up, and starting to the right time with your tryout cycles. And last but not least, also a big advantage here in India, our company and all the services we offer around the world, based from our headquarters in Germany, we offer in India. We are a local company here, we have production capacity, we have stock, we have service, we have maintenance engineers and everything. And by that way, let me invite you in the name of my colleagues to a factory tour. So if you are near beautiful Pune in Maharashtra, please feel free, come and visit us, and we show you our skills and competences. Let's come to the last chapter. Let's go to the press shop. Let's come to a chapter where you have the least influenceability of costs. So there everything has run like planned, 24/7, maximum stroke per production. You want to be able to put the dies like the product planning department has planned it into your press line. Otherwise you lose money, you waste money. And therefore, in the last chapter, I have two big points for you. I have some inspirations for you in regards of digitalization. So I think it's 4 weeks ago, then FIBRO India, we got the certification for the WPM sensor technology to import them into the country from the government. So we are now safe in regards of all the certifications, and we can start with that. Let's imagine that I will speak with you in regards of gas spring leakage, in regards of stuff like that. And at the end, one of my favorite points, smart little helpers. The best solution is a small solution. Coming to the point of digitalization. Here we see a gas spring. When the cam unit is the king of the standard parts, the gas spring is your queen. According to my personal experience, this is also one of the most critical parts. It's filled with gas. It's filled with 150 pressure pure nitrogen. So you have something like a pressure device, like a gas bottle. And the function of this product is, when you have here leakage, when the gas is flooding out of the gas spring, you get wrinkles in your sheet metal. So the task of this product is that you have the correct force, the correct drawing force or bending force or holding force in the correct area of your die. That your mostly drawing processes are as stable as possible. Let me introduce to you a sensor technology which is able to track the status of the queen of the standard parts of the gas spring. We see here on the left corner, we see the die where the gas spring is mounted. The sensors are directly mounted at the gas spring, and they are communicating either with a gateway, which you can directly influence your press line, or it's also communicating with a software where your maintenance engineers can see it, where your production planning can see the status of the gas spring, and also it's communicating, it could be communicating as you wish with a cloud to store all those data. We are tracking heat and pressure. So what's your value? What's your value about tracking heat and pressure? For example, your production planning department decides, now I have to produce this part. Then imagine you were able to just check at the laptop or just check on the software, are the gas springs in this die okay? Can I run the production? Okay, I'm at green value, so you can go directly into production and don't lose time by potential waste of setup time, which doesn't make sense. You are also able to check if time is up. I don't think so. So I keep on moving? Okay, sorry. 5 minutes? Thank you for that. Okay. Digitalization, press shop. Also a very convenient way how you can use this technology is with your smartphone. Your smartphone is everywhere with you. Going to lunch break, going to toilet, you have your smartphone with you, right? So imagine the die is sending you an email or a pop-up window that this die is not able to go to production due to pressure value, which is not able to fulfill the needs in production. Or when we combine the cloud with the software, we can also look into the future. Based on a mathematical algorithm, the system learn from the past, which means what is the pressure decrease, what is the natural leakage of the system, and then it tells you in 3 months or in 2 months you have to make maintenance, fill up the gas springs or whatever. Now we come to my favorite part of the presentation, smart little helpers. As smart as the solution is, as efficient the solution is. And if you know one of those two pictures, if one of those two pictures on the left and on the right of the die in the middle are familiar with you, I absolutely know your pain and your struggle in the press shop. On the left side, we see a broken blank holder screw M16, and when it comes to transfer presses, or you will increase the strokes per minute, we have more stress at these screws. They break, fall into your die, they destroy something, and the worst case is that it destroys your drawing contour, your shape, and then back to maintenance, welding it up, working it in, dry out, and then again. And on the left, on the right side, even worse, it's a 6mm pin from a spring plunker, which also breaks and fall into your die, and I would like to inspire you with some solutions. And when it comes to breaking spring plunker bolts, there are also existing other technologies on the market. The basic version is a 55 HRC hardened pin, so it will make damage. You will see it in the area, and we have a solution here with a high sophisticated plastic pin. The plastic pin contains metallic, like graphite, like something like graphite is inside, so you have a greasing function, and the bolt breaking issues you can check, no problem for the press shop anymore. And the best thing is you also can interchange it with existing dies, because we are fulfilling the global standards for this product, M16 with the right pitch and with the length, the force and the stroke length and everything. When it comes to breaking blank holder screws, there was the time many years before when the conventional press technology switched to transfer dies. And there we faced, together with a big press manufacturer, I want to sell my presses, but the customers ask me, will your press destroy my die, or will your press destroy the standard parts which are in the die? I cannot sell the presses if I don't have an answer for that. So during that days, we developed a damping technology. We see here on the left side the blank holder screw with this orange material in between as a washer. And let me demonstrate shortly the difference from the traditional solution. Normally we use a polyurethane spring. Polyurethane is developed as a spring material. So a spring is getting energy inside, getting energy outside. Now we have the damping version, a material especially developed not for damping whatever, no, it's developed for damping steel on steel products in press shop environment. And maybe the people in the back cannot see, but for the audience in the front, I have here two different materials. Spring version, spring material, energy inside, energy outside, and this, the damping, energy inside converted to heat. Coming to the end of the presentation, second last slide. What have we seen? Let's summarize. We have seen several approaches in regards of how, in die design phase, You can have influence. What are the latest trends? What challenges are we facing in the future? We talked about design. We talked about tool and die manufacturing, tryout cycles. According to my personal opinion, this is the most critical point, the most not influenceable point. And then in the press shop, one of the most important things, there is a return of invest. There you have to run your dies. So you have to consider 24-hour production, highest strokes per minute as possible, all in the areas before. So thank you for your attention, ladies and gentlemen, partners, customers, potential business partners. Again, I would like to invite you also. You can scan here with the QR code our contact dates from the Indian colleagues and from myself to stay in touch. And we would really invite you to Pune, to our manufacturing plant, and have a great time hearing to your challenges and finding solutions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.